guys, it's Brook, the guitar teacher in Cedar Rapids. I'm pretty excited because not one but two of my students want to talk about triads. Yesterday, actually they were back-to-back students, and that is pretty exciting. So they're kind of finding different triads or discussing different formulas. I thought I would take it back to kind of the core, most simplest thing, which is kind of the way I operate. So the most basic triad I could think of to introduce it would be the C chord, C major. The thing about C major is there's no sharps or flats. It kind of keeps it a little more simple and organized. So think of C major as the white keys on a piano. No sharps or flats, no black keys. Let's start with a C chord, the basic cowboy chord. This was the first chord I was taught at my first guitar lesson. Within that chord, you'll find some really cool, simple triads, such as the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. Check it out. That's pretty much a good example of a root 3rd, 5th. Root 3rd, 5th in C is C, E, G. So again, I'm playing the 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string. C, E, G. And before we go too much further, I just want to make sure everybody can kind of recognize that as a fundamental building block. All right, we're going to do more than that. So if you hit the 4th, so that's like your first inversion or your root. I don't really know my inversion names, but there's 3 inversions. You can go root 3rd, 5th, or 3rd, 5th root, or 5th root 3rd. And they're all right there in C. So there's 3 inversions. That just means what order you play them in. So if you normally we would assume the lowest note is a root, the C, and then it gets higher to the 3rd and the 5th. But it just so happens in the C chord, if you play 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, you've got a 3rd, 5th root. E, G, C. So that's probably the second inversion. And then you've got one more here on the top. That's G, C, E. So let me do it again. The lowest note on that inversion is the C, the root. Now the next one I do, the lowest note is E. So that's probably second inversion, as I've said a few times. And now the next one, the lowest note is G, the 5th. So that's kind of handy, all in one chord shape. And of course, if we took it up 1 fret, you'd have to make this horrible shape. It's all there again, and here, in all 12 keys. But you have to kind of suffer for that shape. It's a good shape. That would give you all 12 keys. You could find those 3 inversions in each one of those. So I won't drag you through those shapes right now. Let's hang out with this C major triad business. Sounds pretty good. While we're at it, while we're working on this chord, just remember that the 6th string open is a 3rd, which sounds pretty muddy. Check it out. That 3rd is low and powerful. It's an open string. It's low. It's loud. It kind of overpowers the rest of the chord. Plus, there's already, now we have a total of 3 E notes. Still, it's fun to listen to. So, the third in the bass is pretty common. So if I was playing a C chord, strumming it, the bass player could play an E, and they would sound correct and kind of melodic, but it might sound a little unusual to your ear because we would assume the bass player is playing a C note, the root, the first interval, as opposed to a third. But it's still nice to listen for. Check this out. Let's grab this G, 3rd fret, 6th string, add that to the chord. So now we've got a 5th in the bass. So really, if you just hit the 3 fat strings, you've got a 5th, root, 3rd. You could take away your index finger. That's a really good shape. That looks just like an E chord over here, but we're here. This one's easier to move up the neck. So if we go up 1 fret, you got a C sharp. 1 more fret gives us a D major. 1 more fret is a D sharp. And an E major here, which will be equivalent to this. So that's it's a cool way to move like an E chord sound up the neck. And there's tons more. But let's keep this one short. I've been doing some epically long videos. Epically, is that a word? Well, long videos, you get it. Alright, so thanks a lot. If you could subscribe, that really helps. I always check and see if I've got new subscribers, and I'm always happy to see a new subscriber or 2 or 3. Alright, thanks a lot.